Hello my friends, welcome to this video about how to change a bicycle wheel or a bicycle tire. You might be surprised of seeing both subjects together, but finally it is because it is exactly the same manipulation. So here you have two subjects in one video. Two little things before. The first thing is here I'm using a bicycle with a traditional braking system, let's say with a brake pad. Here the little difficulty is that you have to make sure that the tire will go through the pads when mounting back the wheel. Sorry for the noise, this is my dog. And of course, if in case you have disc brakes, it will be even easier because the disc brakes avoid you this kind of issue. And the second thing I wanted to share up front is that here I'm changing the front wheel in the purpose of putting a dynamo within the wheel. So I did this on the front wheel, but in case you need to change the back wheel, this is a bit more complicated because you have all the gears on the back. Nevertheless, in case you want to do that, please have a look at my video about how to repair a flat bicycle tire, because there the demonstration is done on the wheel on the back. So for changing the wheel or changing the tire, let's go. This wheel has the particularity of having inside a dynamo, which is generating electricity for the lightning of the bicycle. The other advantage of having the generation of energy within the wheel is that it's much more reliable than the dynamos that you put on the side of the tire. Normally, we should have enough tools in our basic toolbox. Of course, in addition to this, we will need the specific tools for removing the tire, but otherwise it should be fine. So here in this specific case, I will first of all unlock here the screws, because if I'm turning upside down the bicycle, there's a risk of damaging this wonderful little bell. We turn the bicycle upside down. So this is the ideal position for repairing. First thing, we are unlocking the nuts. Now the wheel is free. The problem is I can't take it out because as the tire is inflated, the brakes here impede to remove the tire. So I will now empty the air of the tire. Now I can remove the whole wheel from the bicycle. Now I will remove this little ring here for making the inner tube available. And now this is done, and I will now use this tool for removing the tire. One word about the tire here itself. This is a Schwalbe Marathon. Honestly, I think this is the best brand of tires I've ever seen. It's extremely solid, especially for urban mobility. And now I'm removing it thanks to this tool. But these tires are really difficult to put and to remove. But with the tool, it's getting quite easy. Once you've done this, you block it here. Then you take the next one. And then the next one. So this is a classical example. These plastic ones are lighter, but they're less solid, so I'm just changing for a solid one for being able to remove them at the later place. And once you have reached a certain number of little reminder, these tires are among the most difficult to remove, and we have to be careful not to damage the inner tube. Okay, once we have liberated one side, we will do the other. But before that, we're removing the inner tube. Finally, I will do it differently. I will remove the other side of the tire. This is by far easier. And then we can release also the inner tube. Okay, so here we will change for another wheel where there's electricity generation inside this piece here. A very important element when mounting the tire is that you should be careful. Here there's a little arrow showing the direction in which you should put it, because of course here the back of the wheel has been designed for a given direction. So don't forget here, very important, this little arrow. For the moment we're putting only the first side. This is quite easy. Okay. And then we are putting the inner tube back. Should you put a new wheel, don't forget to put this kind of ribbon. This is on the back, on the bottom of these rayons, and this will avoid that they are making some holes into the inner tube. We put the inner tube back. There is no direction. So now we are placing the inner tube within the tire. Make sure that there aren't any folds. So now we're putting this little thing back on the inner tube. And we put the tire again back into the wheel. We start manually. Careful of not putting the tire in between the tire and the wheel. Now we're using these little tools for putting the tire back, and you will see it's getting really hard because these are very good tires. Doesn't go in, make sure you're placing it correctly because there will be less tension on it. Okay. That's it. The tire is now changed, and we're placing it back on the bicycle. For placing the wheel, make sure that the tire is not inflated, and then you have to push it through the brakes. And in case it is too difficult, you can open the brakes. I won't detail it here. This will be the subject of another video. So this wheel is well done. There's this little thing here which aims at holding the center, and we'll have to put it in this little hole. Now we only have to inflate the wheel. So this pump is a pump for bicycles. In case you don't have this one, don't hesitate to have a look at my video about the bicycle pumps. That's it, my friends. Now we have changed the tire, and now we can go to the next step, in which I will show you how to cable the bicycle for the lightning. See you in a minute on Happy Hour TV 1.